Welcome to East Bay Church of Religious Science, where spirit abounds, love overflows, and spiritual transformation begins. Welcome home.
I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. Here I am, here I stand. Lord, my life is in your hands. Lord, I'm longing to see your desires revealed in me. I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away. I give myself so that you can use me. For I know that there is only the one life. That life is God. That is my life. That is the life of each and every one of us, each and every individual, each and every spirit and soul. For there is no separation or disconnect. There is only God. Only God. And in that knowingness, in that thought, I know that this service is already blessed. I bless this church. I bless this block right here on 41st and Telegraph. I bless the building and the doors and the grounds and the trees, the flowers, our gardens, our windows and our tenants. I bless each and every member that comes by just to grab a glimpse of this beautiful and sacred building. I bless our Board of Trustees, their strength and their guidance. I bless our practitioners holding us in prayer, holding our feelings and our emotions and our grief, holding our love in our hearts. I bless each and every ministry, for I know that we are all still working to transform each and every heart, each and every body, one soul at a time, for that is our mission. I give thanks. I give thanks for this moment. I give thanks for this day, knowing that this is a good God day. And I release these words, allowing them to be so. And so it is. I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. Take my heart, take my life as a living sacrifice. All my dreams, all my plans, Lord, I place them in your hands. I give myself away. give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to our Sunday morning celebration, and welcome to 2021. We've made it. We are still standing, and we are excited to jump into this new year full of new possibilities. And as we do that, let us all recite our church affirmation, because it is an affirmation. Let us affirm together that God is the only power in my life. And let us say that in unison. God is the only power in my life. Nothing from without can touch the perfect life of God within me. No past experience has power over me. I am a perfect child of God, and nothing that anyone has ever done or said can interfere with my divine inheritance. The power of God is greater than any circumstance in my life. The strength of God is mine to use. Turning away from all feelings of inadequacy, I discover that all that I need is within me right now. As I forgive the past, I find that I have nothing to atone for and nothing to run away from. Casting off the old me, I discover my true self. I take dominion in my life. Old habits have no power over me. Conditions have no power over me. Personalities have no power over me. I take dominion. I am whole. I am free. I am complete. Now and forevermore. And so it is. Yes. Yes. Now and forevermore. And so it is. And now we have a few announcements for you. Please view them on the screen. At this time, I would like to acknowledge our service team for today. We are starting off the year with our Women's Ensemble with Z. Lewis, Fabiana Crenshaw, Martha Mangle, Sharon D. Henderson, Mark Rickey on keyboard, Lee Henderson on bass. I, of course, am Ona Frey, and I am your pulpit assistant. We have Al Gibson as our service coordinator, Richard Scott as our virtual prayer box holder, and our after-service prayer warriors are Kimberly Satterfield, Deborah Adams Trousseau, and Helen Anderson, Emerita. We would also like to have a special shout out to Brett Richards, J.J. Harris, and Arlene King for audiovisual. Today, I am excited to welcome to our podium in this year of power, our own powerful soul sister and divine being, our Irreverent Reverend, Reverend Dereca Blackmon. Her voice will be the first voice you hear after the lovely voices of our women's ensemble.
Holy, 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 holy is the I am. Holy, yes, I am. Blessed are we, strong and mighty. Holy is the I am. Holy, yes, I am. Filled with glory, comfort, mercy. Holy is the I am. Holy, yes, I am. I know that God is my center, love and glory. Sing praises in everything, for I'm holy, holy. I know that God is my center, love and glory. Sing praises in everything, for I'm holy, holy. Precious, 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 precious is the I am. Precious is I am. Worthy, 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 worthy is the I am. Worthy, yes, I am. I know that God is my center, love and glory. Sing praises in everything, for I'm holy, holy. I know that God is my center, love and glory. Sing praises in everything, for I'm holy, 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 holy is the I am. Holy, yes, I am. Holy, 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 holy is the I am. Holy, yes, I am. One more time, sing holy, 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 holy is the I am. Holy, yes, I am.
Hi everyone, I am Reverend Dereca Blackmon, and I am so grateful to be with you today. Wherever you are, know that the East Bay Church is right there with you. My topic for today, as we start out in this blessed and beautiful new year 2021, is how to rely on God. If we are here practicing and seeking a spiritual awareness and truth, we are constantly thinking about our relationship with the divine energy, the Most High, the living spirit within each and every one of us. And that idea of spirit is so critical, it's so powerful. And yet sometimes we stumble on the mechanics of how do we do it? What do we do? We know more than ever that 2020 has taught us that there is an opportunity for us here to dive deeper into our practice, to really check in with ourselves and our faith as the source of our strength. So I want to offer 5 steps that we can use to more intentionally, more powerfully, more directly rely on our own inner knowing, our divine connection with God that needs no mediator, needs no translator, needs no external power. It is a power that lives within each and every one of us. So the first thing that I always talk about that is so critically important is to be grateful. Every single day, there is so much we can start with to be grateful. We can be grateful that we made it to 2021 because so many of us are carrying a tender heart of people who aren't here in the body with us anymore. And so many of us are just grateful that we got through the trials and challenges and even triumphs that got us to this new phase, this new beginning for us and for the entire planet. We are on the precipice of a great change, and we have come through much to get here. So I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful that you continue to show up and to seek and to be the change that you want to see in the world. So gratitude is essential in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, especially in the most difficult times, to just remember whatever it is in our body, in our spirit, in our mind, in our beingness that allows us to be filled with gratitude. Sometimes I draw to mind a picture of my favorite place or my favorite person or my favorite anything, because it just reminds me. And I just saw, as many of you did, the beautiful film Soul, and remembering just that sometimes we think our purpose in life is to achieve. But what if our purpose is the second powerful step on how to rely on God, which is to be present? Many of you know I started last year in 10 days of silent meditation as part of the Vipassana retreats. It was a powerful, powerful experience to me, reminding me that meditation was more than just emptying my mind. I remember how many years I struggled with the idea that my mind needed to be empty, that I needed silence in order to be a good meditator. And I'm so grateful that I found another idea of mindfulness that allowed me to practice being present first and foremost with my body. I have been a person, as so many of us in religious science, who is very present with my mind, very present with my emotions, very present with my divine connection, but somehow this didn't add up to being present in my body, to really embracing and understanding the power of my breath, to the power of just being present with each and every toenail and each and every hair on my head. And what did it mean? As my friend, our brother Jeffrey Osborne likes to say, to concentrate on you. That's the little song I hear in my head when I get to going and being in other places. Now, the song is about something else, but for me, it's just one of those affirmations and reminders that that's something that's powerful, to be in my body. And part of the meditation retreat was to let go of my cell phone and to just put away all of the distractions. And I don't want us to judge those things. I feel there's a lot of judgment in the world about technology, and I don't find that kind of judgment to be particularly useful. What I'm more interested in is what feeds us. What is it that makes us feel grounded? For me, it's often being close to the water. So I'm so blessed to be in a place where I can actually find water and sit and be with it. Other people, it's the trees. Other people, it's the children. Other people, it's their own divine reflection. What is it? Music, dance, moving that makes you feel grounded, that makes you feel present to the joy and the spiritual energy in your own body. So I think that's a beautiful opportunity for us to remind us ourselves that meditation is more than just silence and emptiness, that it's presence. And so that, I think, is the second step for relying on God. We start with gratitude, and then we move on to being present in our body with the divine energy that lives in us. It's one of the things I love about this teaching is that God is not somewhere else in the sky. God is not in another person who can heal and preach and reveal to us. God is activated in our own breath, in our own beingness. And so the third thing that I want to invite you to do was one of the things that I am constantly at work in, which is to be curious. So often when we notice things about ourselves, which is critical, we're critical about that. So it's important to not be critical. How about that? To just be curious. What's going on? Why am I reacting so strongly? Why do I believe something negative about myself or my future or my past? What's happening? And the key to this action is to notice without judging. And that sometimes is the hardest thing for us to do. When we notice something, our inner critic or our gremlin just jumps up and says, "Oh, that's bad, you're awful," right? And it's not just what we do for ourselves, it's what we do to other people. Notice when you're judging people. Sometimes we just are listening to people waiting for it to be able to give back to them how they're wrong. I don't know about you, but I know that that's something that's happened to me. And so I'm grateful for this opportunity that mindfulness presents, which is just to be curious, right? Without judging myself, without feeling like there's something wrong. I love our affirmation says we have nothing to atone for and nothing to run away from. And I remember how much I struggled with that idea, but I've done things that are wrong. But what use is it to look back at my past and to blame myself, to judge myself, to criticize myself, to beat myself up? What use is that? What good has it done to bring me into any kind of peace or joy? Certainly we want to learn the lessons, but you can tell whether you learn the lessons because of the peace that it brings you, the sense of wholeness, the sense of purpose that it brings you, the sense of wisdom. Because as we get older, and I've been blessed last year to make 50, and I know for some of you that's really old, and for others of you it's like, girl, you just a young thing. But in any way we can begin to become more and more curious about who we are rather than judgmental. And that thing will also extend to the other people in our lives. It will extend to the place where we feel like we constantly have to figure things out and make a choice. My friend Dream Hampton likes to say, whatever you do is right. I came to her with a difficult question, what I thought was a difficult question. I wanted her to tell me, as so many of us do, what is the right thing to do? And she said to me, whatever you do is right. And it's something I pass on to people all the time. And it's so frustrating because that gremlin inside us wants to battle. It wants to do battle. It wants to fight. It wants to figure. It wants to judge and criticize. But if we're just curious, when stuff goes on in our emotions, just curious when we perpetuate habits that no longer serve, just notice, what is happening with me? What is happening with me? And then the fourth thing that I want to invite us to do is just to be active. What does it look like to actually focus on ourselves in an active way? We take so many actions every day to focus on other people. We take the action of we want to find out what's going on in the news. I can't tell you how many times I've opened up my news, which I usually get from the internet, so I can have some choices and not everything blaring at me from what I like to call the television. But I've noticed so many times that I open it up with this dread, like, oh, what are these people doing today, right? And And again, that's not edifying. It's not supporting me. It's not serving me. And so when I'm active in messing with other people's business, I'm active thinking it's my job to fix somebody, to fix everybody. When I'm active pursuing something negative, pursuing something that's going to create controversy, when I want to go on Facebook and find somebody to argue with, that's a kind of activity, but there is a different opportunity. If we're going to practice relying on God, we need to get active in our practices. We need to get active in the ways in which we seek peace and truth and joy and love, right? And prosperity and all of these things. And that is that moment when we realize we can't control other people. We can't get active in the lives of society. We have to identify what is the change we actually can make. Dr. Gay Hendricks wrote several books that I love. One of the ones I'm into now is called The Joy of Genius. And he says, when you focus on things you have no power to change, you get unhappy. But when you focus on things you have the power to change, you get happy, because that's where the power is. It's on that discernment. You're curious, you notice, and then you go, oh, okay, this is mine to do. This is mine to do. And hint, hint, usually the part that's yours to do is the part where you change yourself. It's so easy to focus on what somebody else can change. But even as we think about what's happening in the world, our sister Tracy Brown says, what is mine to do? Is the question around racism or injustice or homophobia or any of the things that are plaguing the world, or even more interpersonally in the dynamics at your workplace and your family and your relationships and your finances. Is it yours to do to complain? Is it yours to do to change the past, to worry about the future? What is it that's ours to do? And as I continue on this journey more and more, I find that the thing for me to do is to be more gentle with myself, right? To be more grounded in the reality. So sometimes I like to use affirmations, and in religious science we use affirmations and denial. So I like to say I'm going to either affirm the truth or deny the lie, because the truth does deny the lie. The truth is there's enough prosperity, enough love, enough joy, enough peace, enough justice for everyone in our lives and everyone in the world. That is the truth. The truth is God is all there is. That most high, divine, natural, powerful energy lives in every single one of us without exception. And yes, in them too. And so because of that, we get to rely on God. We get to rely on God to know the truth that God is. All of those qualities that God is are the qualities that we are. We like to say that God is the ocean and we are a cup of that same ocean. So we're not all of what God is, but we are very much everything that God is, if that can make sense to you. We have those same qualities. If we think God is love, then we are also love. God is peace, then we are also peace. And so we get active by affirming that truth, by just knowing I am healed of whatever dis-ease, right, that happens in my life. I am healed of the ideas of lack and limitation and poverty. There is a thing called a poverty consciousness, and it's that way in which we begin to think we have to hold on tight because there's not enough. And that same consciousness enters our relationships. That same consciousness enters our beliefs about the world. I know 2020 was a year of struggle with our beliefs about the world. I, like so many of us, felt despair and despondence, like what is going to happen? But there's a power in knowing and saying out loud, God is all there is. Because that is the truth that denies the lie. That there are some that are outside of God, some that are our enemies, some that are evil. Because of that idea, what did the president say? We have nothing to fear but fear itself. President Kennedy said that, right? And it's that fear that feeds us, that grows within us, and it feeds us poison. That resentment, that jealousy, that unforgiveness in our hearts is poison. That somebody said resentment is like taking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Right? That unforgiveness keeps us locked up. Right? We have to guard the people who are in the prison cell in our minds. We become prison guards, making sure that nobody likes them, that nobody thinks they're okay, that it's our job to let everybody know how wrong they are. I mean, maybe this isn't your experience, but it's most certainly been mine. The opportunity to practice an affirmation that says, I am enough. Because that same measure with which we judge others is often the way we judge ourselves. In fact, the root of the way we judge others is the way we judge ourselves. We're always talking about somebody, how they look and what they have on and how their hair is, and then what happens when we look in the mirror. Right? And the truth is, I'm beautiful. And not because I look like somebody's standards, it's because I know God is all there is. And so I see that same beauty in you. People come to me and they give me compliments and they say, oh, Reverend Dereca, you are this and you are that. And you know, just like everybody else, it's hard to accept that. But what I do accept is I say back to people, we are just reflections of each other, and you can't see it in me unless it's in you. And that's so hard for us to believe that we are the same thing as the people that we admire. I have those insecurities just like everyone else. And the power of affirmation is just a reminder. Sometimes we got to fake it till we make it. Sometimes we got to say, God is all there is, I think. Right? But that's what these affirmations are for. They're just reminders of the truth that we know deep in our hearts. And I will tell you that sometimes in our darker moments, in our shadow experiences, calling upon that affirmation, calling upon that idea, there is enough for everyone. I am the presence of peace. Love is all around me, looking for me as I am looking for it. Those things, when you practice them enough, they come to you in those hard moments. But last but not least, and this is so important for us who practice this science of the mind, is to be humble. Because sometimes one of the most frustrating things in trying to turn things over to God is the idea that we're not turning it over right. Well, Reverend Dereca, I did my affirmations and nothing happened and it didn't change and I'm still stuck. But see, this is the thing that is sometimes confusing for us in this philosophy. We think that it means that our mind should always be in control. But one of the most powerful phrases I've ever learned is, I don't know. I still struggle with it. And you can remind me sometimes if you see me, I don't know. I don't know everything. I don't know how to fix everything. I'm working every single day just to be present in my own body with my own self without judgment, right? So we don't have to figure it all out. We don't have to know everything. This is the problem sometimes with science, is science always believes in this equation. If you do this, then this will happen, except everything that science is used to be religion. It used to be superstition, and then it got investigated and proven, and now it's a science, right? And that's what happens, we know, with our religion, with the power of prayer and non-local impact, that all of a sudden quantum physics came along and said non-local impact is a real thing, and we don't understand how it works, right? But we who know, we who practice faith, we know with a different kind of knowing. We know with an intuition. We know with the quickening of the spirit. We know that God is real. And so we don't have to know all the mechanics of the how. So how to rely on God is to let go. It's to surrender. It's to pray. Y'all know I love the old school. My great-grandmother used to sing, "What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and grief to bear. And what a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer." Now, I'm not interested in the sin and grief part of that, but oh, what a privilege. What a privilege it is to pray, because in our 5 steps of prayer in religious science, it is about these very things. Knowing the power that God is, knowing that I am one with this power, being active and declaring the truth as I know it, being grateful, and then letting go. letting go of my idea of how it's supposed to be and whether I'm good enough and whether I'm doing it right. Let's let go of all of that stuckness. Let's let go of all the paralysis of analysis of the past. Let's let go of all the worry about the future and then just submit. Just surrender to that power that knows more than we know, and knowing that that power lives in us. It's as close as our breath. And as we get present in our bodies, get present with the divine energy that created us, that sustains us, that breathes us every day, something starts to happen. Right in our core chakra, there's a trust that opens up and fills us with love and insight and beingness, not just doingness. It fills us with a beingness. And so, it's not always easy, but it is always clear. How do we rely on God? We are grateful. We are present. We are curious. We are active, and we are humble. I hope your week, your life, your year, your month, your community, your family, your relationships, and your relationship with yourself are filled with this confidence, this faith in the divine. Thank you.
And in this moment, as we focus our attention on which is beautiful, that beautiful lake, that beautiful tree, that beautiful flower, we embrace the life which is God, knowing that there is no situation that God is not a part of. There is always a solution. There is always a remedy. There is always something next to do. And in that, we are God-led, God-focused, and God-directed. So I give thanks for each and everything that comes up, each and every experience, each and every person, each and every situation. For I know that it is God sent, and therefore it must be God blessed. I forgive anything that I need to forgive, and I release it. I let it go. I leave it back in the past years. For this is a new day and a new year and a new moment. And in this moment, I know that it is good. It is good, it is perfect, it is whole, and it is complete. I know that if you have a prayer on your heart today, I know that the answer is already yes. It was yes when you thought it. It was yes when you wrote it down or emailed it. It was yes when you shared it with someone else. And for that as well, I'm thankful. I release these words, knowing that everything is working in divine right order right now, on this day and every day. And so it is.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God.
Yes. And now is the time for gracious giving. Know that your gifts help us to continue our work in transforming the planet, transforming the nation, transforming the city of Oakland, and transforming the community. one heart at a time. Please look at the screen to see all the many ways that you can give, and please consider signing up for a reoccurring gift.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God.
Yes. So I just give thanks for the gifts and the givers. I give thanks for the intention. I give thanks for the love that is sent out into our community. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. So as we leave this sacred space, this sacred circle of love, I know that we are guided, guarded, and held by the love of God. And so it is. Welcome to 2021.
This is just the beginning, the year of refreshing, the plan now unfolding, the time of your great blessing. Expect nothing but victory. That's the promise in all things, to be exceedingly abundantly above what you ask or think. So expect the great, 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 expect the great. Expect the great. Expect the great. This is just the beginning, the year of refreshing, the plan now unfolding, the time of your great blessing. Expect nothing but victory. That's the promise in all things.